Here we go. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to yet another one of our solo queue casts. Actually, it's not solo queue today because we have the EPS Quarterfinals. It's a European Pro Series, and it is going to be Planetkey Dynamics matching up against ESC, that's email support. And with me today is Jadar. Hey!
Hello, guys. Yeah, and it's going to be a really intense matchup with really good players right here.
Most of both of these teams are around high diamond or even challenger for some of them. So they've proven themselves time and time again, and now they will try to take one another out in order to try and win the European Pro Series, which is kind of like a gateway into the Challenger Series as well. Once you've won that, you can try and move on. We saw Playing Ducks that made it all the way to the Challenger Series quarterfinals. Started off the European Pro Series. So, we are now into this game, and we can just look over the map real quick. Oh, that hook
Oh,
actually landing.
Corky, Twitch gets hooked up. Play is obviously not leveled up, and he will escape with his life. Bouncing bomb and phosphorus bomb actually coming out, getting him quite low. Actually, there has to port back to base right now, and nothing major coming off of it though.
Yeah, the nice thing is that he really didn't have to use any of his summoner spells, and it was early enough that he can recall without losing anything, and then move out, still be in time for all the minions. That is, if he decides to move now, he's still sitting in base, probably thought about waiting for another health potion. Now he's finally on the move, but that will give Panda Senpai on the Thresh and Scott Wall on his Corki a slight advantage at least. Anyway, before that hook landed, I wanted to go over these two rosters, and we do have Lulu going up against Jax in the top lane. In the jungle, it's going to be Elise and Jarvan mid lane. Ziggs will be duking it out versus that Zed, and then of course in the bot lane, it'll be Corki Thresh up against that Twitch Zyra. Now we already
Yeah,
see a lane swap coming in here though.
yeah, I wanted to touch on that real quick. We see that Lulu and Jarvan are double jungling together right now. And Zyra and Jax have caught out the Jax a bit, poking it a little bit onto him. All the while, PkD is just pushing that bot lane, getting those minions for Corki, ensure he gets nice and farmed.
Yeah, the main thing about this is right now, we see ESC trying to zone out that Jax as much as possible, and he responds by going into the jungle, taking out the white. Because you really cannot be near that minion wave. Zyra and Twitch are freezing it completely, denying him any and all CS and experience. Whereas on the other side, PkD have pushed the bot lane, so Lulu's actually able to get at least a couple of CS, and more importantly, get that experience as well. So she's already level 2, and that's already too much for that Elise to really safely dive. So for now, the threat in that bot lane already thwarted, but of course, what we didn't say at all is that ESC also stole away the enemy's blue buff. Elise did counter that in the end, by taking the other one as well.
Yeah, and we just saw a simple buff trade, even though Elise left up the small minions in the golem camp. So she's just going to she just delayed a little bit the next spawn. And the advantage you just talked about with Lulu being in that lane, getting the XP more than Jax. Jax is still level 1 at this point. That just comes after the fact that ESC planned that lane swap and knew what they were going into, whereas PkD did not notice that until it was too late.
And they were misled too by seeing that Twitch early on and doing so much damage to him. They thought, hey, he's probably going to be bottom lane if we already saw him around the blue buff, and all of a sudden he does appear in the top lane after all. So that was a cheeky little move there from ESC, but right now we have a deep invade here from Jax and Elise.
Yeah, and they're Cocoon coming out, but he just happily walks away, getting hit by a bouncing bomb, falling a little bit low, but they're not going to chase him so deep into his jungle through the towers.
So he's lost a lot of HP. That is going to slow him down a little bit in the jungle because he can't do too many more camps, and it does leave Elise and Jax to try and take those wolves away. But still, Jax only level 2, only 4 CS, and Lulu by now. Level 3 has the help of Zyra down here as well. That means Twitch is left all alone this entire time. He's even with Corki, but if you look at the way they're keeping Jax small, it's totally worth it.
They're ganking in the mid lane, but a counter-strike comes out, Zed flashes away. The Cocoon misses, no follow-up there by anyone. Nice flash.
So good job there. Avoiding the danger, getting out safely. Zed
Yeah,
surviving
better
for
safe
now.
than sorry at that point.
And really, I mean, Zed, all it means for Zed is that he has to save his Shadow as an escape ability and can't use it as offensively anymore. Because Zed does have a built-in escape, he just needs to be more careful with it now. That he doesn't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
that
It's not
flash.
even that bad in the grand scheme of things. What we're seeing right now, though, is Jackson Lee's count up for the top lane, maybe attempting a
That
gank
hook
to
in the
Twitch.
bot lane, though. Never mind, everyone gets out safe. Now Twitch.
Counter-Strike comes onto Twitch, Cocoon coming out, he's going really low, but the tower and the expunge, not going to be enough, though.
I was really close, though. I'd be
Yeah.
very scared if I was PkD. It was a good thought, trying to go with 2 men onto that Twitch that's been free farming the entire time. They got him quite low as well, and he might still go down. That stun's
Counter-Strike
gonna
coming
land.
out of the stun, the heal comes back, and the
Oh my
expunge doing so much damage again that Jax has to back off.
Yeah, Jax is just too low. He doesn't have any items. He doesn't have levels. That level 5 Twitch just completely annihilates him. Yes, he forced the heal, which was good. But that Twitch just basically 1v2'd up in the top lane, and now that Jarvan is coming in, Twitch is still very low, but with the support of that jungler, they could find a kill here.
The knockup does not connect, the has to flash away of the Counter-Strike. He was a little bit out of position there. Twitch was not sure he can survive following that up with just the 350 HP he had. So, a little bit of miscommunication maybe there from ESC.
And I don't think he expected that Elise to still be around. Either way, we saw a little bit of an exchange in the mid lane. It did force out both ultimates, but in the end, Zed gets away with his life, as does Ziggs. So no kills traded there. 7 minutes into this game, still no kills on the board. About 1,000 gold separating these two teams right now.
The Grasping Roots hitting both targets. Thresh getting really low right now. Exhaust coming out. The death sentence onto Zyra. The TP coming out from Jax. And Corky, the Counter-Strike flash onto Lulu. Bouncing bomb coming out. Auto hit after auto hit, but he's probably not going to get... Oh, the flash auto attack from Thresh secures that first blood for PkD.
So a nice teleport gank there. After the over-aggression, you could almost say, of ESC, they took out the fact, you know, that's the advantage if you go to the lane that has the teleport. They ganked Lulu, who has a teleport herself. Twitch does not have one. So overall, PkD did have the man advantage. They were able to 3v2, come out with the first blood, so catch up a little bit of that gold deficit. Is it going to be enough, though, to get that Jax rolling? He's only got 2 Dorn's Blades right now. That's not going to be enough to get him into power for a very, very long time yet.
Yeah, and Zed just clearing the pink ward, being spotted out by PkD. And they know what he's up to right now.
Exactly. So, Zyra awarding that bottom tri-bush. Everybody staying a little calm here. Keeps farming. I mean, we have Twitch up in the top lane. He's a couple CS behind Corky, but that shouldn't matter too much because he's got a pretty big wave there. Meanwhile, we see the bot lane actually being pushed in by Lulu and Zyra right now.
Yeah, and some nice harass coming out with those plans. They do actually do quite some damage at this point. Flag tossing just over the wall onto the red buff, seeing it just got cleared. And not having his flag toss for the mid lane, so no danger there for Zig.
Exactly. So, Dragon's still untouched. There is a pink ward there, so the vision advantage goes over to ESC on that objective. But I don't think either side is strong enough to actually go for it. At least not until Jax's teleport is back up. He can go up to the top lane, put on some pressure there, and then move over. Twitch still left alone, but the question is, what do they actually gain from this? Yes, they're keeping Jax small, but it means Twitch is not able to join in for any of this either. If PkD wanted, they could have 5 men on that Dragon Pit, and it does give them some sort of an advantage on the rest of the map.
I think though that if you look at the composition of ESC, they have quite some scary Dragon Pit fighting. They have the Jarvan, the Lulu ultimate, the Zyra ultimate.
Oh, Zyra's gonna
Zyra's
die
getting
here.
caught though. Counter-Strike stuns her up. There's no flash on her side, and she is Lulu shield coming out, and the wild growth. The
Oh
plus
my
the
god.
Whimsy saving her life right there.
No,
Jax
she's
going
not
in deep
safe
for a
yet.
dive. The Bomb comes out, but Jack's a little overextended there. A little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, they trade 1-for-1. It's crazy how long Zara survived that wall growth, barely keeping her alive, and then, of course, that cocoon landing, which was unfortunate. In the end, they do trade.
Descent
Now
coming out
Jarvan's
on the
getting
Jarvan, bouncing bomb play and cocoon hitting, and he's certainly going to fall.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that was a really nice hook by Thresh there, abusing the fact that he's in that really small corridor between the tower and the wall. Really capitalizing on his positional mistake there.
Precisely. So that's another kill over to PkD, now 3-1. They were already 1,000 gold behind in this game. Right now they've caught up almost completely, and after this dragon, the gold will surely be in their favor. Jax has gone up to the top lane to meet with Twitch once more. Wouldn't have his teleport, but all alone Zed can hardly do anything about this dragon right now. And with that global gold, the 1-1-1 Jax suddenly isn't in such a bad position anymore. Once he does go back, he'll probably be able to pick up his Phage. Already has 450 gold, and of course already bought that longsword as well. Now, there's a Corki with a double buff in that bot lane. That's pretty scary. As soon as Thresh gets there, and Elise might come around for a gank, so Lulu and Zara definitely have to be careful here for the next couple of minutes until those double buffs wear off again.
Yeah, and double buffed Corki is pretty scary actually. Being able to spam the missiles and the phosphorus bombs is huge for him. He gets rooted up there, nothing major, poking a little bit back with those missile barrage rockets.
Top lane
and
tower.
Zed is still pushing mid.
Exactly. Zed's just pushing mid. He's 9 CS up, has that Bilgewater Cutlass completed, of course, compared to the Seeker's Arm Guard on the other side. Now Jarvan's down in the spot lane. This would be a 3 versus 2.
And they have no vision right there, so the knockup comes out, Stranglethorns and Grasping Roots, locking him up there. Yeah, they was just so well played that they knew there was no vision.
That fight in the top lane is so close.
Dying right there, but Elias in the end picks up the kill.
I can't believe that Twitch managed to die there, because Jax played it phenomenally. For now, they're chasing off Corki in that bot lane, probably going to take out that tower. But what I wanted to say was, Jax basically had no HP remaining, and Twitch uses his ultimate. Jax, instead of backing off, jumps on top of him, and it flustered Twitch so much that he used his heal and flash almost immediately. Then when Elise came around, he had nothing left, and it was an easy kill there, as well as that counter-strike, stunning Twitch up long enough at the tower to do a bunch of damage. So really, really well played there by Sartorius to trade that 1-for-1. And, I mean, they lost that bottom tower, but top lane, it's basically dead. It's got 120 HP left on that top tower. So that gold advantage that ESC theoretically have will be balanced out soon enough. And we have 2 Blade of the Rune Kings just completed, so the power spikes are coming in here.
Yeah, and I think Zed with the Blade of the Rune King completed now is going to have quite some kill pressure onto Ziggs at this point. He has not completed the Zhonya's yet, he has not completed the Athenes. He's pretty vulnerable if he doesn't save that satchel charge for him as an escape. And even though Zed has his ult, he can follow up on that. He has his shadow, he has his splash ready. If he goes for a 100% all-in, he's probably going to die. Ziggs.
Exactly, so Jax back up in the top lane, Thresh and Elise around the corner, but Twitch and Jarvan are in the mix as well. They want to pick up more kills here, and can they get it? Jax is still very, very far behind, 1-2-2 with 54 CS. It's really been the thing we've seen a lot of people do against Jax, just try to deny him as much as possible for the early minutes, so it takes him forever. Oh,
the
nice
Cataclysm
jump.
comes out, he just leap strikes over to a minion. Nice bait there.
And it's just the power of Jax as well. And he had the Thresh Lantern around on top of everything else. So he had 2 ways to escape from that Cataclysm. A little bit of a waste there on the side of Jarvan. I don't think he would have had to use that. But in the end, it doesn't cost them too much. Right now, we have 4 men moving up to the top lane from ESC. And that tower going down. Easy gold for them. But had they waited a little bit with that tower, maybe they could have baited Thresh and Jax into staying around a little bit longer until Zara and Zed get there.
And currently, Corki is solo pushing in the bot lane. Lulu is heading up there, coming the TP coming out of her, because that's quite a big wave. And if Corki was there, he would have probably took down that tower.
Exactly, taking the bottom outer tower as well. It's already 2-0. on the tower count for ESC, so they've got a little bit of an advantage with that, and of course that balances out the gold advantage that Corki would have on that Twitch. They're about even, actually. Corki is about 400 gold up.
The sneaky coming out of Twitch onto Corki, but nothing major happens there. What I wanted to touch on though is the fact that ESC has not been able to snowball their gold lead into something bigger. They have been lying on this about 1k, 2k gold lead the whole time. I think it has never exceeded 2k gold.
No, they actually lost it once. They were
yeah,
even
they
again.
lost it once. They were not able to capitalize on those 1k gold lead they had at the like 7-8 minute mark, which is much more than it is at the 15-minute mark.
And it's because they tried to put on the pressure plays. They tried to make it the plays on both top and bot lane, but every time PkD actually had some sort of response to it, or there was a slight mistake on the side of ESC, like earlier, that top lane fight with Twitch versus Jax. That should have been an easy kill for Twitch, but instead, they trade 1 for 1, and that's happened a couple too many times. It's really been what kept PkD in this game, and of course the Zyra catch earlier on that bot lane, followed up by the Jarvan kill, and then the Dragon gave them a nice amount of gold on top of everything else. So for now, they're still ahead, but it's definitely a dangerous game, especially with Jax slowly but surely starting to power up here. Has that Bilgewater Cutlass completed, and is now at 74 CS, so he's catching up little by little to that Lulu.
Yeah, and he's going to build into the 24th first, I think. That tells me his Ruby Crystal in his inventory. Just delaying that Blade of the Ruined King until he's got the 24th ready, actually, so he does more early damage.
That's a nice
and the dragon is being taken right now. Top wave cleared by Ziggs ultimate, and they just pick up a clean dragon, and that evens out mostly the gold lead.
Exactly. So another dragon on the side of PkD, and of course it's such a nice thing you can do with the Ziggs bomb. Just throw it off into the sideline to clear it instantly. Here comes Jarvan in the bot lane. Not going to be able to do anything this time though. Oh, that hook! It lands on Jarvan once more. But in the end, the damage is not enough yet. The Lantern just gives him safe passage out of there. Oh, Jarvan goes in again.
Knock up onto Thresh, but he uses the box and the play. Rat-tat-tat coming out, the flash of Zyra, the poison going to take him down, the slide onto by Jarvan, Corki flashing over the wall, but Twitch is on the hunt with that self. He's coming in. Ziggs is there as backup for Corki though, and the blue trinket coming out there.
Exactly. Meanwhile, in top lane, Zed tried to escape all of that, but Elise and Jax did manage to pick him up. So once again, yes, the bot lane fight was won by ESC, but meanwhile in top, they lose one. Now Twitch in the mid lane tries to get onto Ziggs.
I think he's a little bit over-aggressive right now. Oh, he has the white growth to back him up. The poison coming out, not taking him down due to the heal though.
That was really close with that Mega Inferno Bomb. Almost 3 people dead there. Zyra, Lulu, and Twitch all on very low HP bars after that fight. Single little bit of a misstep there, and it could have turned out badly for them. That would have really been what PkD needs right now.
Yeah, and we see that 3 members of ESC backporting right now, so PkD are happy to do some damage onto the mid lane outer turret. And also the fact that the Ziggs Mega Inferno Bomb has just such a low cooldown. Compared to other ultimates at this point, the 80 seconds cooldown of it with the Athenes, that's pretty good. He was able to clear the wave on the top lane and then use it in the next fight, which was only about 90 seconds later, so that's nice for him. The Cataclysm coming out onto Ziggs though, the plant, the shadow from Zed, and he falls down.
Yeah, good move there. They knew that Ziggs didn't have a flash, didn't have a heal, so they just came back there, came back to haunt him, took him down, and that's definitely going to be the mid lane tower here for ESC. The last remaining outer turret that they still have on the map, and now they keep moving on. That Glitterland's not quite connecting through that repel. They want more, though.
Yeah, they're on hot pursuit right now, trying to take down that mid lane tower, doing some damage onto it, trading a bit with the members of PkD. Zed taking the wraiths, and they just wait for the next creep wave.
Exactly. They have all the power. They have all the time in the world right now as well. Like, they've got an item advantage, and they can just sit there and poke it, but they just have to be careful with Corki. So in the end, they do decide to back off. They have a red buff to take, they have a map to ward, and of course, bot lane will soon be pushing towards them. So they can just safely back off a bit, but they can't leave their mid lane tower completely exposed. They'll still just lose that because there are 5 members of PkD still around.
Yeah, and PkD really needs to... Jarvan slides in, the Cataclysm is not coming out, he falls instantly, Mega Inferno Bomb doing a bunch of damage to the backline. Twitch getting played, the box comes out, Super Inferno, Wild Growth coming out, Twitch just destroying PkD, but Corki is still alive, Ziggs is still alive, and the pressure they are making right now is enough to keep Zed, Zyra, and Lulu out.
Yeah, that was very, very close. Jarvan went in a bit too soon and just got demolished almost right away. Twitch was a bit late, and once he was there, he was instantly exhausted. Now Zed comes in, tries to get that Ziggs, but he knocks himself forward with the satchel charge. In the end, he is going to go down. So far, it's a 1-for-1. Yes, Corki can still pick up a kill. So 2-for-2 on this one, at least. But the tower's still alive. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, no. In the end, it was a 5-for-4 trade. Everyone on PkD went down, and on the side of ESC, only everyone but Lulu went down, so I'm not sure if they would call that worth, but it definitely wasn't a horrible trade.
They got that mid lane tower as well, and right now Lulu and Jarvan still chasing. Cataclysm comes out, but the Repel might keep him safe.
Yeah, and Flay coming out, and the Glitterlands picking up the kill. Oh no, actually Jarvan with the kill.
In the end, it doesn't really matter because they have all the pressure right now in this mid lane. They still have 2 minions and then a Jarvan to tank up the tower. Death Sentence lands, but the tower is already gone. There's a pretty big minion wave in the bot lane as well, so right now ESC with a bunch of nice advantages. About 3,000 gold here in the lead after 22 minutes, 11-9 on that kill board, and 4-1 in towers. They're really making the map plays here, and the only thing that can still save PkD is that Corki. 5-1-1 and a 70 CS lead over the Twitch, that's really their strong point here.
Yeah, and also they need to be careful to pick the fights when Jax gets strong. Because if they wait another maybe 15 minutes, in which Jax farms well, which he has honestly not been doing until now, if he steps up his game, farms really good, really well, he's going to hit that power spike where he gets his 24s and his Blade of the Ruin King, and then he's going to be pretty scary as well. Even if there's an item advantage still on the other team. 24's Blade of the Ruin King Jax is pretty scary as well, no matter how many items you have.
Yeah, especially for that backline. That Corki has to be really, really careful. That Jax jumps on him. I meant Twitch.
The blue trinket coming out, the TP onto the ward, and Jarvan just smites the dragon. Easy pickup there. It was a little bit risky, but Lulu had her TP up, cancelled it in the end, but scared PkD away so that her team could do the dragon nice and easy.
Yeah, nice little power play. They had a lot of vision around the dragon pit, the 3 normal ones and 1 pink ward, so they knew exactly where the opposition was. And in the end, they took that one down. The first dragon in this game going over to ESC, and that's just going to extend their gold lead a little bit more, edging onto that 5,000 mark in just a couple of 100 gold. The question is, right now, PkD has a lot of gold on a single member. They've got that 5-1-1 Corki with 250 CS. That's huge. But on the other side, ESC just has a lot of spread out power. They've got 4 kills on Twitch, who's theoretically low on farm. Then Zed has been farming pretty well, only has 2 kills, but it's still enough to give them that Blade of the Ruin King, plus a Last Whisper, plus a Brutalizer. And because of that, there are just so many threats on ESC that they can still win out these fights, even if someone gets caught, like right now.
Yeah, and he just flashes the Counter-Strike, which was a smart move. He would have probably died if he got caught out there. But just look at the individual gold leads. There's a 2k gold lead in the top lane. There's a almost 2k gold lead in the jungle. There's a 1k gold lead in the mid lane. Then a 2k gold lead onto the AD carry of PkD. And a 1.5k gold lead for the support Zyra of ESC. So, as you said, the gold lead, the strongest point is the Corki, and that's the only member who is stronger than anyone on the enemy team.
Yeah, so he really has to show up, but a nice catch on Desire, not quite good enough because she flashes away, but now the spray and pray coming across. Stranglethorn's there as well. Thresh might just get taken out.
And Jarvan sitting there, not has his flash, nor his, and the grasping roots onto Corki, extending Zara's life for just a couple of seconds, and she ends up falling to the missile barrage of Corki.
Yeah, this
Meanwhile,
time around,
though, Lulu is pushing up in the top lane, and she has a Ziggs behind her, and the super fast Jax coming at her right in the face. I think she might die actually here. Counter Strike coming out, Wild Growth, flash, Counter Strike. The satchel charge delays her flash over the wall. Corki now with the Gatling gun, the missile barrage, and the phosphorus bombs, plus the red buff, picking up the kill for him.
yeah, that was a really nice catch in mid lane. They had Lulu and Zed off on side lanes, so that after they managed to catch out Zyra, it was all just try to run away from ESC, and PkD easy to mop up an easy 3 kills there, and now the Lulu on the back of that. So they got 4 kills for just one inner turret up in that top lane. I think that's actually a trade they'll take, because it gave Corki even more kills. He's 8-1-2 now, with the highest CS in this game, 280. The 26.5 minute mark, so he's farming more than perfectly.
Yeah, he's farming quite well actually. But if you saw, I don't know if you saw that, but that used his death mark onto Elise, so that's not going to be up for the next 45 seconds probably. That's a small window, but if PkD can capitalize on that, that would be really, really good for them. Because the Z ultimate is really the ultimate tool to kill Corki. Because if Jarvan Cataclysm's in, well, he has the Valkyrie. He can use it to get away. And then there's basically only the Z left to kill him.
So right now, it's all down to can they kill Corki or can they not? They're not allowed to get caught anymore, really. Because the last time that happened, it went really, really badly for ESC. And there are a lot of things that could catch them out. There's the Elise Cocoon, there's the Thresh Hook, there's always the Flay, or, you know, a well-positioned satchel charge. So the team of PkD does have some options to try and get the better of ESC. They have to be really, really careful about their positioning. Zara, at least, now has that Leandri's Torment done as well, so she's got a little bit more damage, as well as the rest of her team really getting some big, big items in there. I mean, the Death Cap on Lulu, the Randuin's on Jarvan, of course a Black Cleaver, as well as the Last Whisper onto Twitch. And now on the other side, we do finally have that Trinity Force on Jax, but the question is it enough right now? Teleport coming in from Lulu onto that pink ward.
Yeah, ambush of Thresh, ambush out of Twitch, he goes really aggressive right there. Spray and pray coming out, shredding those members, but Corki just burst him down there, and he's doing a bunch of damage, avoiding all the CC. He heals before Thresh can get to him. The Deathmark is going to take him down in the end though. Exhaust comes out and he manages to trade back. And now Lulu has to run away. She's going to fall. So this was, yeah.
Once again, it's all down to Corki. That was a very nice engage in theory off the side of ESC. The main problem is they didn't manage to get it onto Corki. They left Corki alive too long and he just stood at the sidelines, instantly annihilated Twitch. He didn't even get a chance to use his heal. The Mikkel's Crucible on Zyra was not used either. That's a mistake they definitely made. And Jarvan then was just forced out of the fight. He couldn't help anymore, stood on the side, backed off. So that was a 4-for-3 exchange. Very nicely played by PkD, turning it around at the right moment. They're gonna get rewarded with, you know, another inner turret and some positioning on Dragon, but they have to be careful about this because Jarvan and Zyra and Twitch coming back in hard.
Yeah, and I think this really comes down to PkD excelling in this scenario. They have that one fat guy, and they have so much tools to protect him. They have so many tools to protect him. They have the Thresh, they have the Jax, they have the Elise. They all can peel for Corki. Even Ziggs, with a well-placed minefield and satchel charge, that can zone quite some people.
Exactly, and
So
then they have the face of the mountain as well. We saw that shield in the last fight really doing some good work.
yeah, it kept them alive for a good amount of time, managing then to take down Zed. They are aggressing onto this Baron. Leech Strike coming out, Counter Strike, stun up Jarvan, the Cataclysm comes out, Mega Inferno Bomb does a bunch of damage to the back line, and Corki is untouched to this point. Zed flanked in though, uses the Shadow to get onto Light, does not get the kill, and this is a 3-for-1 exchange and a Dragon for PkD.
Oh, that Corki knew where Twitch was. Nice Rocket picking that kill up. So that's going to come on top of that Dragon. I mean, Pharaon has to be a little bit careful, but there should be enough shields around to keep him alive. And the bottom tower falls as well as the top one. So huge influx of gold for PkD. Beautiful fight. That Cataclysm was ridiculous. We can just see how well that fight went for them. Because Zed hasn't used his ultimate. Twitch hasn't used his ultimate. Zyra hasn't used hers either. So it was really just PkD rolling in there and taking the important targets out first. And as you said during the fight, Corki once again left untouched. It's not something that ESC can afford to do any longer.
Yeah, and as we see right now, we're 31 minutes into this game, and there's now a 1k gold lead for PkD, and they have been playing from behind for the last 10 minutes. They have managed to win those team fights when they were behind, actually. So now that they are ahead in gold, and probably going to snowball that gold lead just a little further, that's scary. That's really scary for ESC.
Yeah, at this point they have to wonder what can they really do to keep them in this game for the next couple of minutes. Thresh forced off of that ward there around the Baron pit with those Zyra plants nicely done, taking about a third of his HP away. And we see Corki nearing that full build, finally going for a defensive item. Already has that chain vest in there. There are actually several options for him. He could either go for the GA because he says, I'm so fed, I just need to come back to life once. Or he says, I want the Randuins. Because on the other side, there are Twitch, Jarvan, and Zed. Jarvan and Zed will want to get on top of him. On top of that Corki, and if he then has a Randuins, that'll do a lot for him. On the other side, Twitch is not really going to be affected by that one at all. And with Thresh and Elise already having one, I think that actually the Guardian Angel might even be the better choice.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but in the top lane there was a little skirmish between Jack and...
I don't know if you saw this, because this was awesome in the bot lane.
I did not see this.
It was an even trade, and it was pretty close. In the end, both go down. So, carry on.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the fact that Lulu's Wild Growth ultimate got baited there by, or got forced by Jax in the top lane to get her away. But it has such a ridiculously low cooldown at this point. 48 seconds, which is really, really good for her right now.
So she has that one back up already, and of course Jax did not care and went on to go right back into that bot lane and go for another fight. Now we do see a movement here from PkD towards that Baron. Could they actually want to bait this one? I mean, they're clearing out the vision, then standing around. I think this could be
and
quite
they're starting
risky.
off this right now, the TP coming out, but the TP from Lulu into the back line, that was a little bit of an overextension, and the Dragon just goes straight up down to PkD.
Well, Lulu had to do something. Lulu and Zed were in the base, so beautiful move there from PkD. They knew that they were basically 5v3, and all Lulu tried to do with the teleport was scare them off. It didn't quite work because PkD knew that Zed was in base as well, so they knew there wasn't any threat, and now they have Baron. Now they can push down mid.
And as I just wanted to shortly go back on what I said earlier. I said that Jax, once he hit his power spike, is going to be Jax was able to duel the Zed, but the fight breaks out, the Cataclysm onto the backline, he Valkyries out, manages to take down Zed, and Corki, even though he fell down to 400 life, is still alive. He did not die in this team fight, again.
Once more, Corki survives everything. 3-for-1 exchange. They take down the first inhibitor tower, moving on to the inhibitor. doing some huge damage to that one. Jax, of course, is such a terror to every standing building on this map. And Scottwall, after life-stealing a bit off of the Wolves, is back in this base. They want to end this game. They still have 19 seconds until Jarvan is back, and Twitch standing on the side in the stealth, not really able to do anything. On the other side, we see Corki hunting down Lulu. She's forced out of the fight. Can Jax still get Twitch? Nope, not quite, but it keeps Twitch on the side of the fight for long enough. That
Bouncing
satchel
bomb
charge.
and satchel charge, picking Twitch up, and this is game.
Yeah, there's not really anything to be done about that one anymore. So after 35 minutes, PkD sat it all out and ended with a 27-18 score, a whole 7,000 gold and 2 towers ahead. After they were down for such a long time, Corki shows up huge, Jax comes out of power, comes into his power, 5-5-12 there at the end, and really just a very, very well played match by PkD. They didn't lose too much when they were behind, and then just came back to take it all.
Yeah, and it was just phenomenally played by PkD. They exactly knew how to play the map. They played it so well. If you just look at the minimap real quick, there are 4 Pinkwoods down. A whole of 4. Keeping the control of those objectives, of those neutral monsters. They played that just so well.
Indeed. So that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for watching. If you did all this way, I have been Goose the Grey, and with me has been Gennaro, and we will be back soon, hopefully. For now, we'll both go and take a break, and yeah, see you next time.
See you next time.